Who would have thought that something as simple as reading could actually give us superpowers? No need to hit the gym lifting weights. Just grab a book, and suddenly you feel like a genius. Seriously, some people read a cookbook today and open a restaurant tomorrow. Meanwhile, you're here, struggling to figure out which side of the bread to butter. Don't worry. It happens to the best of us. Books are the easiest way to become an expert on anything. Want to learn how to make spaghetti bolognese? Read a book. Curious about the philosophy of ancient civilizations? Grab a book. Books are like cheat codes for life. If gaming has a God mode, then reading gives our brains the same kind of boost. Imagine wanting to be a business mogul. You don't have to spend thousands on expensive courses. Just read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and boom. The next day, you're walking around like you just discovered the secret to becoming a billionaire. Take Warren Buffett, for example, one of the richest men on the planet. He literally spends most of his day reading. He even said, "I just sit in my office and read all day." Now, I don't know about you, but if I told my friends I spend all day sitting and reading, they'd be more concerned about me becoming a couch potato than a millionaire. Reading can help us add new words to our vocabulary. Have you ever noticed how some people speak like they've swallowed a thesaurus? It's like every word they say has 3 syllables, and you're there thinking, what did that mean? Well, reading can help you get there too, minus the confused looks from your friends. Next time, when someone asks how you're doing, don't just say, "I'm fine." You can confidently say, "I'm feeling rather euphoric and elated today." Watch their jaws drop as you sound like a walking dictionary. Just be careful, though. You might accidentally make someone think you become a professor overnight. Studies have shown that reading regularly can expand your vocabulary by up to 20,000 words over your lifetime. That's like having your own built-in Scrabble cheat code. So next time someone challenges you in a word game, just casually say, "Oh, I read that word before." They'll be too impressed to argue. Our brains need regular stimulation to stay sharp. Our brains are like cars. If we don't start them up regularly, the battery dies. So, we need activities to keep our minds running smoothly. But don't worry, you don't have to do 50 squats to work out your brain. Just read a book. It's basically mental gymnastics, minus the spandex. And the best part, you can do it lying down with snacks. That's the kind of workout I can get behind. There's actually a study from the University of Sussex that shows reading can reduce stress by up to 68%. Yup, it's more effective than listening to music, taking a walk, or even enjoying a cup of tea. Imagine that. You're stressed from work? Forget about a yoga retreat. Just grab a mystery novel. And before you know it, your worries have been replaced by, wait, who killed the butler? Reading helps to reduce stress. If life's been feeling like a roller coaster and your boss just yelled at you for the 100th time this week, grab a book. In no time, your stress will vanish like it's been sucked into a black hole. After reading for a bit, suddenly that boss of yours becomes less scary and more like a cartoon villain. You might even start imagining them with a giant red nose and funny shoes. And if that doesn't cheer you up, well, at least you've managed to escape reality for a while. It's like a vacation for your brain, minus the overpriced plane tickets. Reading builds empathy. Have you ever been in a situation where you just can't figure out why someone is acting the way they are? Reading can help with that. You could be reading about a character who loses their pet hamster, and suddenly, even though you've never owned a hamster in your life, you're sobbing like you lost one too. That's empathy. Next thing you know, you're crying over fictional people like they're your best friends. My advice? Read with tissues nearby. You never know when a plot twist will hit you right in the feels. And it's not just for fictional characters. Research has shown that reading fiction actually helps you understand real people better too. So, next time you don't understand why your friend's upset because they dropped their ice cream, just remember, empathy starts with books. Or with accidentally eating someone else's dessert. Same thing, right? Reading enhances creativity. When we read, our brains start coming up with all kinds of wild ideas. It's like giving your imagination a boost of energy drinks. You start picturing alternate realities. thinking up characters with superpowers, and before you know it, you're plotting out an entire movie in your head. If you've ever read a fantasy novel and ended up imagining yourself as the hero, wielding a sword and saving the world, don't worry. You're not alone. I do it all the time. Every time I pick up a book, I'm suddenly the main character in my own epic adventure. Only in real life, the only monsters I'm fighting are deadlines. Look at J.K. Rowling. She was literally on a train when the idea for Harry Potter came to her. And now, millions of people are pretending to be wizards, waving around sticks and shouting, Expelliarmus. Who knows? Maybe your next big idea is just waiting in the pages of a book. Reading boosts emotional intelligence. We often hear about IQ, but did you know emotional intelligence, EQ, is just as important, if not more? When you read books that delve into human emotions, like deep dramas or even insightful nonfiction, you start understanding not just how people think, but also how they feel. This is where reading turns us into emotional superheroes, able to recognize and handle feelings, both ours and others. You might not be able to fly or shoot lasers from your eyes, but hey, at least you won't break down when someone accidentally steps on your foot. In fact, research from Harvard University shows that people with higher emotional intelligence tend to have better mental health, job performance, and leadership skills, all because they took the time to read about other people's experiences and feelings. So next time someone asks why you're always reading, just say, I'm training to be an emotional ninja. Reading improves concentration and focus. With our attention span shrinking by the minute thanks social media, staying focused has become a challenge. Ever tried reading one paragraph only to get distracted by your phone 3 times? It's a real struggle. But reading books helps train your brain to focus for longer periods. It's like doing brain push-ups, only much more fun and without the sweaty gym smell. As you get into a book, your mind blocks out distractions and immerses itself in the story. Before you know it, hours have passed, and you've forgotten you were supposed to check Instagram for the 100th time that day. Studies have shown that people who read regularly can concentrate better and have improved cognitive functions, which is like saying, reading makes you a brainiac. So, go ahead, read a book, and give your brain the workout it deserves. So, it turns out that reading books isn't just a boring pastime for nerds. It's the key to unlocking your hidden genius. As Oscar Wilde once said, it is what you read when you don't have to that determines what you will be when you can't help it. So next time someone tells you to stop reading and do something productive, just smile, grab your book, and know that you're secretly becoming the most interesting person in the room. Keep reading, keep learning, and maybe one day you'll be the one writing the next great story.